Welcome back to Lucky Paper Video, what I'm going to call this channel Against Anthony's Wishes. I'm just going to start calling it that. You're going to have to go with it.
Okay.
That's how it's going to be. We are playing today some decks drafted from Anthony's Mono Black Cube. These decks were drafted in a full pod of 8. I was not present for this draft because I was on vacation, so I've inherited a deck from a friend of the show, Daryl, and I'll be playing that. Anthony, why don't you tell people about the cube and then break down your deck a little bit for everybody first before we get into games.
So this particular horrible idea for today's cube, the stipulation
It's not
was...
a horrible idea.
The stipulation was, can we actually make a dynamic draft format without color? And we could do that in a couple different ways. We could just say, like, hey, all lands tap for all color, or, you know, something else like that. But the way I decided to sort of execute this experiment was I just cut out all but one of the colors. So effectively, like, you're not trying to draft to, you know, balance how many colors I'm playing versus what lands I have and, you know, risk versus reward there.
Black's open.
You're just going to be drafting black.
I think black's open.
And so I really tried to push as much as possible into different synergistic strategies and especially, you know, the sort of emergent archetypes like aggro and control in mid-range to really see if we can still create a dynamic draft experience even when you're, you know, just playing one color. The obvious risk being you just end up taking the best black card out of every pack. And I think it was pretty successful. People had a good time. It's also really interesting that this restriction doesn't actually affect the gameplay that much. Like there's a few kinds of... card interactions and things like that that are missing when you're only playing black, but overall, you know,
Doomblade
it's
unplayable.
Still felt
I guess
like
there are some artifact creatures. You could play Doomblade, though it would not be advisable.
It'd be pretty bad. But it still just felt like playing Magic. So the thing that really does affect is just the draft experience itself.
And what's your deck all about? It looks like it's gonna aggro me out.
I hope so. So I was pretty open to drafting aggro because I feel like it's, you know, among the play group I was playing with a lot of new people, which is really exciting to get new people playing cube, but I still feel like in our play group people are less excited.
This is the deck you drafted.
Aggro. So this is the deck I drafted. My pack one pick one was Dark Confidant, and I just felt
Love
like
it.
You know, if we can continue this aggro train, that would be a good place to be. And I'm really happy to have both Dark Confidant and Midnight Oil as well as a way to sort of recoup card advantage to try and sort of make up for one of the disadvantages that black aggro has compared to red aggro, where there's not really that much reach, but getting some like powerful card advantage hopefully is a way to actually get some wins. And then, yeah, lots of cheap creatures, some efficient interaction, and a couple other miscellaneous things.
Pure aggro. Looking good. I have, as I mentioned, inherited a deck from a player in our play group, so I did not draft this particular deck. But you said this was the deck that won the draft?
So this is one of the two decks that were in the championship. I picked it fairly arbitrarily. They were fairly similar decks. We can try them both.
They're basically the same deck. Anyway,
That's maybe not fair to say, but we'll see.
This strikes me at first glance as a pretty interesting just value deck, almost like a as close to a combo deck as you can maybe get in this environment.
Yeah.
There's a lot of... It looks like there's going to be a lot of cycling my own creatures. I am not very proactive. My curve is fairly high, but I have some life gain in the form of Gray Merchant of Asphodel.
We could just call him Gary.
I have some life gain in the form of Gary, which I expect will be relevant, and a little bit of early interaction with my Collective Brutality and stuff. I think the key cards for me are going to be Mimic that, and then in this particular matchup, I'm really going to be leaning pretty hard on Murderous Redcap and Ravenous Chupacabra as ways to, you know, not die. Not dying seems important. Deluge also pretty obviously important here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have a hard time. I think I'm just going to have a hard time in this matchup altogether. But
I don't
especially
know.
I'm curious how if the hand hate can specifically get me there.
I would expect... Just looking at this deck, maybe I'll feel differently after I play it. I would expect aggro to be one of the more challenging matchups for the deck in general, because it has really powerful cards, so I'm not worried about going to a long game, because if we go to a long game, I'm just going to start, you know, doing Great Gary every single turn, or doing Ravenous Chupacabra every single turn, or get Bowls of Citadel out with Sensei's Dividing Top. It's got Citadel Top in this deck, which I'm very excited about. And just going to generate...
That's the real reason I gave you
and
that.
I'm just going to generate unstoppable value. I'm just worried about getting to that point in the game, so... We will see what happens when we go to the games. Do you have dice on here? Did you get them already?
I have dice.
Is Daryl going to tune in to watch this deck?
Get us dice right there. That's probably enough.
Beautiful. Shall we do a high roll, Anthony? Do not knock your laptop into... You've got your laptop and a glass of water perched on top of some moving boxes.
Correct.
Pretty precariously. Would you like to go first with your aggro deck?
I will absolutely go first.
Matchup?
I think this is pretty important in this matchup.
Darn.
You know, some people like to say, oh, well, with this deck, I really want to be on the play. And that's kind of doesn't make sense because it is always correct for one player or the other to, what's the better way to say it? We can't both be right. You can't be like, oh, I'm a slow deck. I'm happy to be on the draw because I want more cards. If your opponent is advantaged by being on the play, you want them to not have that advantage.
Well,
so
theoretically, you could both want to be on the draw.
you could both want to be on the draw, correct? But
Yeah.
I'm just saying both players can't be right about saying
That basically
I want
never
the opposite.
happens. I mean, yeah, but people disagree about Magic all the time. That's part of the fun.
Oh yeah, that's true.
All right, since you're going first, let's take a look at your opening hand first. I will avert my gaze.
All right. Wow, this is not exactly what I want to see from this deck, but I'm playing a very low land count, and I've got a curve, so we'll see how this goes.
From what Anthony said, I suspect he's playing a land-heavy hand. This is my opener, which I'm reasonably happy with. I want a fair number of these because of how my deck is. Look at me trying to be cryptic. And this is going to be okay at not making me lose the game very quickly. So that's my opening hand.
All right.
Anthony, take it away.
We're going to start
No
things
one drops,
off
no one drops.
with a swamp and a Sarcomancy.
All right. And then I will draw. Play a swamp and say go.
Untap, draw. Play a swamp, attack you for 2.
I go to 18. Oh, wait. I forgot to name our decks. What do you want your deck to be named? Mono Black Aggro.
Mono Black Aggro. And then I'm going to go ahead and cast a Dark Confidant.
This is a pretty good start, Anthony.
Thank you.
I don't feel good about it. Yeah, you have a Dark Confidant. On your end step, I will cycle Horror of the Broken Lands to draw a card. And then I will untap. I will draw a card. All right. Swamp and go.
Whoops, drop my cards.
Don't do it.
All right, let's untap, upkeep trigger. I'll take 3.
All right, you go to 15. I'm sorry, you go to 17.
17.
I'm at 18.
And then draw for turn. Interesting.
What up, James?
So do I want to be mana efficient or rude? I'll play a swamp.
Given that I only have 2 swamps in play, I don't like any kind of way you could possibly be rude.
I will cast Spectre's Shriek.
What'd that do?
It thought seizes you, and I have to exile a card unless I take a black card.
Oh, cool. Cool and good. All right, I've got 3 swamps, a Mimic Vat, a Woe Strider, a Murderous Redcap, and a Gray Merchant.
Mimic Vat, huh? Let's take the Woe Strider.
What's up, Zoe? We have been playing in our local game store for the past couple months since we've been vaccinated for a while and everything's been pretty chill. So it looks like it's getting pretty spicy again.
Yeah, things are getting pretty bad again. We've got mask mandates. The Woe Strider.
That's what I figured.
Then I will attack you for 4.
Yeah. I don't know why you worry about this matchup, to be honest. I assume you didn't play Daryl when this...
Yeah, that's the other reason I wanted to try the aggro matchup against. I played mostly against more mid-rangey things. I did end up 2-1, but it didn't feel easy.
I think this is a good matchup for you.
Then let's go ahead and take the Murderous Redcap from you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm donezo.
And say go.
I think I'm donezo here. Play a swamp, play a Mimic Vat.
Yep.
And pass the turn.
Untap, upkeep trigger. I'll take 1 from a Gnarled Scarhide. And draw for turn.
All right, got you at 16 then.
Yep. I'll play a swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to enchant with the Gnarled Scarred? You know that guy?
I do know that guy.
Basically gives it haste. Or do I want to cast more different spells? It's a difficult question. Yeah, let's go ahead and Scarhide up my zombie.
Yeah.
And attack you. 4, 6.
Go to 8.
And pass the turn.
I've had a lot of fun decisions to make this game. Pass the turn.
Untap. But you did not bring back your guy.
Oh, wait, I can escape this guy? I got 5 mana to escape him. I can't bring him back.
Oh, sorry, you're only... Yeah, okay.
What are you talking about?
Cool.
Don't lie to me.
Cool.
Also, I need to exile 3 cards, right? 4 other cards.
Oh, yeah.
I'm nowhere near
Oh,
escaping
man,
this.
yeah. Why am I so
making
worried?
all this kind of
Why am I
stuff
so worried? Let's go to combat.
That's Sarcomancy,
Oh,
James.
Shoot, did I not trigger... I forgot.
Oh, gets a game loss.
That's
Moving
a game
on
loss.
to game 2.
I will reveal to you that I got this Dark Betrayal. Take 1.
What does Dark Betrayal do?
Destroys a black creature. It's instant.
Cool. Great.
And then I'll draw for turn.
Cool and good. Everything's fine.
Play a land. Go to combat. Attack you for another 6.
I go to 2. Now not even Toxic Deluge can save me.
Then let's play a... speaking of Toxic Deluge. Yeah, that's fine. I'll play a Flesh Carver and pass the turn.
I don't know what I could possibly draw to get me out of this. Yeah, you win.
All right.
That was not really a game of Magic.
The enchantment is Sarcomancy. It's a very weirdly structured card, which is basically...
All right, let me see what I got my
You
sideboard
get a
here.
zombie, but then if that zombie dies, or really, if there are no more zombies in
Why
play,
is
you
Daryl not
lose.
playing any of this removal? What is he doing?
That's a great question.
Daryl, what? Daryl?
Daryl!
Daryl! All right, I'm just going to show my sideboard over
he
here.
has a ton of removal.
Yeah, what the heck? There's no removal main deck basically at all, and I don't understand why.
All right, I know he was
Playing
he was bringing
playing
in Black
this,
Suns for sure.
Playing this. Fatal Blow I feel less excited about.
Yeah.
I'll play Disfigure. I don't like Duress against you. I will definitely play Vicious Offering. What were you doing, Daryl? I don't understand. Daryl, get in the chat and tell me what the heck you were thinking. I don't get it. I don't think Ruinous Path is good against you, but Grasp of Darkness is good all the time. Why would you not play Grasp of Darkness main deck, no matter who your opponent is in this cube? I don't understand, and I'm getting mad about it.
Well, you're gonna then look at your deck and be like, oh, I'm gonna have to cut all my combos.
Yeah, I'll cut the bad cards for cards that do things. That sounds great. All right, let me see here. Those are definitely coming in. What's coming out? Hey, what's up? Unbridled Encouragement. Thanks for making it to a stream. What are these? Anthony and I are just playing Magic, and we happen to be playing some decks from Anthony's Mono Black Cube today, so that's what we're doing on this particular stream. But it's usually whatever we want. Why are you playing Sanitarium Skeleton and not one of these removal spells, Daryl?
That is a good
question. I do not
question.
understand what Daryl was thinking, and I am slowly getting enraged. So yeah, we just play Magic basically.
So these are decks that were drafted in a full pod of 8 by humans. I'm playing the deck that I drafted. Andy's
Get out of here.
cutting Bag of Holding from a deck that somebody else drafted.
Just a perennial comment. I don't think I can afford Wretched Confluence either. I don't want that.
I think Wretched Confluence is a very good main deck card, but yeah, I agree in this matchup.
I don't think I want top.
Actually, does the Lake just kill 3 things?
It does let me kill 3 things, but it is 5 mana. I don't know. Maybe that stays. It kills 3 things and costs me life while it's happening. Why would you play Spark Harvest? Oh man, I don't understand. Brain Maggot is horse shit in this matchup. We're swearing on this stream. This video is getting demonetized. Yeah, I'm not gonna play Una.
Yeah, it makes sense. You're cutting top though.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, am I gonna sit here and just spin my top as you kill me? No, this is awful.
Sounds great to me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, that's easy. Now the question is, do I do anything else? Chainer's Edict is fine. Murderous Compulsion is fine. Didn't see any Planeswalkers out of you. I wasn't paying enough attention during the first thing. I think I'm going to go like
now I gotta
this.
do the meta sideboarding and bring in my Planeswalkers.
Oh, boy. Daryl, I got some notes. All right, well, I feel so much better about this matchup now. I was like, oh, this is a really bad matchup. I'm not sure what I'm even supposed to do in sideboards. And the answer is put in all the cards that are good against your deck. I guess he just wasn't afraid of aggro at all. Like, does he just not view this as like a creature matters format when he like drafted it? I guess this is the first time drafting the cube too.
That's true.
He did say his impressions changed after his first draft. So
that was definitely a fun.
Maybe I'm being a little harsh.
That was a fun aspect of drafting this like very weird environment. Was after the draft, everybody was like, "That was fun. I would have done it totally different next time."
I have that feeling a lot about life,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
drafts, normal stuff that just happens to me.
Sandwiches.
No, I never regret a sandwich. Never once.
So that's a good life
All
lesson.
right, I'm on the play here, Anthony.
All right.
I guess I have to change my deck name. It's not Citadel Combo anymore. It's because combo's gone.
It's try to survive.
I should just cut Citadel. I'm not going to cut Citadel.
You should cut Citadel.
I totally should cut Citadel. It doesn't do anything. Hold on. Ruin Raider? Chainer's Edict? Ruinous Path?
What else do you cut?
Everything that does nothing and is expensive.
Gonna do that a lot of times.
All right, my deck name is Deck with Removal now.
All right, sounds good.
I like the people's impression is that we just get handed random decks. That's how it's
You did get handed random decks.
I did get handed a random deck, but it's not random. It was drafted by a player. Hey, Lumpus, thanks for the follow, and also the Crazy, thanks for the follow. Look, we're streaming. That's what streamers do.
Did you say lumpus?
Yeah.
Lupus umbris.
Oh, Lupus umbris. Lumpus.
Lumpus is good.
Lumpus ubus. All right. Anthony, I'll do my hand first because I'm on the play.
Okay.
We should be consistent. Gotta establish clear things. Let me go ahead and just say that this is going to be very common misread. See? This is going to be a mulligan. I just can't keep a one-land hand in this matchup, so this is gonzo. Do you want to show your opening 7, Anthony?
Sure. My 7 is pretty reasonable. It doesn't have the quite
Lupus
the
umbris.
punch of my last hand, but we got some creatures, we got lands, and we have some more interaction, so I think we'll be okay.
Lupus umbris. All right, we'll get better. Reading. The screen's very far away from me, too, in this setup.
Mm-hmm.
I can probably take this piece of fabric off and make it feel a little less claustrophobic, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
Because we never actually turned those lights on. I thought I might try it, but...
For some reason, just, the way angles work, your eye is just the only thing that I can see and is completely centered in the reflection on that little camera right there. It's
actually, same thing going on for you.
That would have to be the same thing,
'cause
right? Is that how reflections and eyes work?
That's how looking works. Every time you see an eye, you're doing it with your eye.
And I can see your eye.
All right, let me go back to... all right, I'm going down to 6. This is my... my 6, and this is fine. Not great, but utterly fine. And the question is, what do I throw back? And I think it's going to be this. Just because I need to do stuff early. So, even though that card I think is actually a bit of a power outlier in this environment, I'm shipping it away.
All right.
I said I'm on the play, and I still am. Swamp and go.
Swamp. Gutter Bones, pass.
All right, Gutter Bones it is. I will draw a card. I will play a swamp. Ay. I think I'm just gonna do this.
Okay.
This is when you can buy back whatever I've lost life this turn. Only during your turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forget if it's lost life or dealt combat damage or all kinds of details. It's important to read your cards.
Can I afford to do nothing right now?
Hell yeah.
Probably not.
You can take 2. Did you reset the life totals?
I did reset the life totals. Remember to do that.
Nice.
Also, I played around a little bit with Streamlabs app,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it will be able to do everything we want to be able to do with it, but I obviously can't while my phone is also recording your face. So I have to get either a new piece of hardware or, I don't know. I'm just going to think about it for a while.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about my play right now for a while.
Yep.
6 cards in hand?
That's correct. Do
I'm
it.
just going to give -2/-2 to the Gutter Bones.
Okay.
With Collective Brutality.
Bye.
No escalating, and then I will pass the turn.
I'll untap. I'll draw a card.
Yes, these are drafted from Mono Black Cube. Are there any other possible aggro decks then, or just Mono Black aggro?
I think that there's some, like, what do you want to call them? Like, variations on it. Like, you could have specifically a zombie or a vampire theme. There's just, like, a lot of proactive cards, and then have, like, your finisher basically be something that's a little bit more synergistic.
This commenter made us me making fun of the deck name because we called your deck Mono Black aggro.
I see.
From the Mono Black Cube.
I understand.
It's like calling it the Cube deck.
I'm answering it sincerely. Let's Spectre Shriek you. Ooh, Lesser Man. These are all annoying cards.
Well, Lesser Massacre is not great on a mull.
Yeah.
To be fair, I was trying to figure out last turn if I could possibly afford to discard one of these cards to play Lesser Massacre, and I decided I couldn't, and then it goes away anyway.
A fun thing about designing this cube is some of these weird cards that just care about black cards. Vicious Conquistador.
Gotcha.
Yes. So we got stuff like Spectre Shriek, and we saw Dark Betrayal last game.
So you go, play a swamp and pass.
Untap, draw. So wait, you didn't play the Lesser Massacre. Presumably you just...
I mean, you saw my hand.
Yeah.
Do you think I want to discard? Basically,
Discard,
you learned I didn't want to discard the card
Red
that
Cap?
I drew.
Yeah, that's what I learned.
Why would I ever discard Red Cap? That card's probably one of my best cards.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I will never do it. You can't make me.
All right, let's go to combat. Attack you for 2.
I take 2 and go to 18.
Excellent. Then, get another card, which changes drastically in this environment. I will cast a Quag Vampires.
Quag Vampires.
Uh-huh.
Multi-kicker 1, so it's a 1/1 with Swamp Walk. Enters the battlefield plus 1, so he's just a 3-mana 2/2 with Swamp Walk?
That's correct.
That's something.
Boop. Say go.
How many cards do you have in hand now?
It's 3.
I will draw. Let's go ahead and Deluge, paying 2.
Oh, no. Okay.
And that puts me to 16. No land drop, though, and pass.
Untap. Draw. That card actually could be pretty relevant.
Seems like Daryl took removal pretty highly in the draft to end up with so much of it. Unless
There's also
nobody
just
was
a lot
taking it.
in the cube. I'll cast Macabre Waltz.
It's pretty
Bring
good.
back my Conquistador and the Quag Vampires.
It's pretty good.
The discard here is a little bit hard.
You got like 5 cards in hand. I've got 3.
I think I'm going
Who
to
cares?
discard Dark Betrayal. And go ahead and get my Conquistador back out there.
You got a Conquistador.
Say go. Actually, Macabre Waltz
I
is a
will
card
untap.
that I really like. I feel like
I will draw.
it doesn't look like the card that is part of the aggro plan, but just being able to hopefully discard
It definitely
land.
works. The thing that kills me about those cards is like I never want a card in my aggro decks that like sometimes does nothing.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh, I curved out and my opponent, stabilized with a couple walls or
Yeah.
something. Let's do 2 to the Vicious
Yeah.
Conquistador with my Murderous Red Cap, and then I will pass the turn.
Draw.
But that is a very player-based evaluation. Like, I think it's cool for the design of the aggro deck in this cube.
Quag Vampires.
Cool.
Oh, there's my counter.
Unblockable 2/2.
Yep. Your go.
All right. Untap. Draw. Who's the beatdown now?
You?
3 cards in hand.
3 cards.
Chupacabra down
Oh,
to Quag
no.
Vampire.
All right.
Attack for 2 with the Murderous Red Cap.
I'll take 2.
You go to 18. And then I just pass the turn.
Custom cards are interesting. I've dabbled slightly, specifically with just like making some modifications.
Well, how many cards do you modify? You definitely Sharpied.
I Sharpied
the black kill 2 creatures if something died this turn. Morbid
yeah,
spell.
it's really shameful that I can't remember that right now.
Let's go. Good thing we're not recording the podcast. I have to edit this out. Quick, somebody.
I could sketch you a picture of the
Black,
illustration.
destroy target non-black creature. Morbid, destroy 2 things. Malicious Affliction.
Malicious Affliction.
Thank you, James.
So I created Malicious Affliction 2. It cost 4, and it could destroy black creatures.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, yeah, I feel like it's
Malicious Affliction too.
There's
Electric
so
Boogaloo.
much space to explore in cube design without going to custom
I
cards.
feel generally overwhelmed by the concept of custom cards because of how much there is to do. I feel like a lot of cube designers end up doing custom cards because they basically run out of powerful cards for the kinds of archetypes they want to support, and rather than depower the cube to open up more options for cards that exist to play, they decide to instead I'll draw a card. They decide to instead just make custom cards that are very powerful and fit their design goals, which is perfectly valid, but that is not something I'm particularly interested in. All right, so this thing, when it dies, you make a horror.
Mm-hmm.
So you make a 2/2 horror.
It's weird to have a face.
Go to combat.
Yeah.
Attack for 4.
I will block.
Okay, you will block. All right.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I
Get your
apologize.
horror,
I don't
take
think
2.
I'm-
You go to 16.
I might have that token, actually. I should
Does
check.
that
but-
token even exist?
I believe it does. This is
Yeah,
from,
sorry our faces are weird.
This is from
wish they were better.
Commander 2017.
Hello, Crackshot. And then second main phase, I will play this Lesser Massacre, discarding a swamp.
Okay.
And Sego.
Untap. Draw.
Oko's back. What's up, Oko me daddy?
Go to combat.
You're in combat.
Attack you for 2.
Ah, you think you're the beatdown, I see. 14.
I think I don't win by not doing that. 1 card in hand.
1 card in hand. You found your 4th land, finally.
I don't want it.
What's up, Pabab? Punabab? Pabnab?
Let's ulcerate your Masticore.
That's back to the persist counter. You lose 3 life.
Why am I doing that?
I don't know why you're doing that.
I don't know what I'm doing here.
Now you really think you're the beatdown.
Yeah. Revoker.
Mm-hmm.
Name Masticore.
Sure.
Pass.
Sorry, Masticore's not even in my deck. That's a lesser Masticore, dumbass. Get shit on, buddy. All right. What do we do now?
It's really supposed to be naming Mimic Vat, but what can I do?
Will you trade with Lesser Masticore or Murderous Redcap?
Yeah, I shouldn't have attacked last turn. You're right. That was stupid.
I don't know what you're doing, but, you know, I can't see your hand.
My hand's nothing. I just feel like I'm just taking random game actions here.
Vicious Offering the Revoker.
Sure. This is all very unfortunate.
Get in there for 3.
Take 3, go to 12.
Put you to 10.
10?
Yeah.
If you say so.
Did you take 3 from Ulcerate last
I
turn?
thought I did. I must have missed an attack on the red cap with the red cap.
And then I will pass the turn.
All right. Untap. Draw. Sad.
Yeah, we love playing paper Magic. I can't
Pass.
get into playing or watching digital Magic. It bums me out. Draw a card. All right. I'm glad I kept this card in the deck, it seems. Confluence.
Yikes.
-2/-2. I draw 2, lose 2. Or do I want to draw one of these creatures in my graveyard? Hold on. Timeout.
Yeah, draw one of those creatures in your graveyard.
I think actually what I'm going to do is I'm
You
going
might
to
want to draw
draw
both those creatures in
the
your graveyard.
Choop. Do I just want to do that? See, drawing a card is so much fun, though.
Drawing a card's fun.
That's what I'm saying. Magic's variance is inherently fun, and that makes it good. Vizier of a Scorpion, is that better than the average card in my deck?
Probably.
Probably is.
Like
Also,
how am I
saves
going
me-
to
saves me
beat
2 life.
two death touch creatures?
Yeah, all right. So I'll just do that, I suppose, and then I'll get in for 3. Put you to 7.
Yeah, Magic as a video game is a very different thing. And I realized that, like, that was a good
Go
lesson in people don't know what they want. Oh, that's sad. I will play the Sarcomancy because what else am I doing? And Sego. Where I was, like, so eager for them to make Arena available on Mac for the longest time. And they finally do it, and I'm like, great, I can play Arena now. I can do drafts whenever I want. And it's like, I want this a little bit, but really, I don't enjoy Magic as a video game as
You're
much
at
as...
7?
Yeah. That being said, I have done a fair amount of AFR drafts. I think that format is actually quite good.
Yeah, I'll Chupacabra the zombie. Attack for 3.
Attack for 3. I'll go to
Put you to 4. And then I will pass, and you'll lose 1 on upkeep or 2.
I will lose 1. Hold on. We got any zombies? We got no zombies.
Oh, is a zombie in play at
It's
all?
any zombie in play.
Oh, wow. All right. You take 1. Go to 3.
All right, I drew a card. This card doesn't help me. Does it? Well, let's unearth a. Oops, sorry. Unearth a flesh carver. It's a human wizard, not a zombie. So I think I'm still dead.
Unbridled encouragement. When we take a break,
I'll defeat your black creature.
just destroys it.
Yeah. If it was it a Liliana permanent?
No.
Okay, I'll pass the turn.
Unbridled encouragement. Remind me when we are in between. When we're getting set up for the grid draft of my cube after playing these games, remind me to talk more about one set of custom card ideas I've had for a while that I think would be pretty cool.
Okay.
I'll just figure that thing and attack for lethal.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I'm pretty much dead anyway, right? Because I have to block here, and then I take 1, I go to 1, and... Can this shoot players?
No.
Okay.
Can't even shoot planeswalkers. I should have at least let it shoot planeswalkers.
Is the custom cards anti-cards?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I still will do that project someday. Someday I want to design, let's say, I don't know, like 3 or 4 dozen anti-cards designed to be dropped into like a typical Fair Max, Power Max kind of cube that can just fit in there and play for anti. There's a couple of problems.
Really?
I think I would change what anteing is a little bit. So the way anteing works. The way it worked back when the game was invented was that you just ante the top card of your deck at the beginning of the game. And if it was a basic land, good for you. You only, you don't, nothing is on the line, basically.
I mean, in the real beginning, people didn't have basic lands.
What?
I feel like that was one of the struggles, was like the lands were just in packs, so it wasn't like you could just buy a deck and be like, yeah,
I thought you meant like there was a part of Magic where basic lands didn't exist. I was like, maybe in early playtesting. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you on the play?
I will be on the play.
Good luck to you.
Sorry for playing badly that game.
So anyway, I would define anteing, and maybe I would rename it to, probably not, because people know what anteing, they have a affiliation with it already, but I would basically make anteing like kind of like Cascade. Like exile cards from the top of your library too. Hit an on-land card. That card goes in the ante pile. The rest go on the bottom in a random order to fix that aspect of it. And then I actually think the design space is interesting because it's one that Wizards can't and won't and is legally obligated to not explore, but also pretty limited because what anteing ends up being is this kind of white knuckle, like it is a cost you can, it's a cost you can impose on an effect that to give a more powerful effect for the same cost. But what ends up happening is that if you give them a powerful effect, then they're more likely to win the game. And so it's just like, it becomes this very high stakes. Are you keeping your hand?
I'm keeping my hand. I've got some creatures, I've got some lands, I've got some interaction. I've got 1 card, which looks pretty bad in this hand.
Yeah, the anti-cards I want to make would be for cube.
So my issue,
so you
my
would
issue
anti
with
during
that,
the matches, basically. So you would basically play out.
So would you also, in addition to the anti cards, just have the anti rule of like wouldn't you always anti the top card of your?
Yes, you would still anti not the top card, the first non-land card will be my rule.
Oh, okay.
And then I also feel like I like the idea of people's decks changing from match to match, and like the people that are in the 3-0 bracket, their decks are even better.
The whole idea, right?
Right. That's the whole fun of it. And then obviously once the matches are over, it's just done. But I think it would be much more interesting if you had, like, if you're a blue-black deck and your opponent's playing red-white aggro, like, you just don't care about anting any of their cards except for artifacts.
Right.
Not even going to make your
I think
deck.
that's the biggest issue. So
anyway, I'm going to keep this hand.
Okay.
It's fine.
I'm not looking at it.
I'm not going to say anything about it other than it's fine.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the issue. It's like I'm playing mono red and you have a mono green deck. Like, it's just not going to alter my deck at all. So if I was to do that or participate in that, the only way that makes sense to me is basically like if the cube is designed for playing sealed and sealed exclusively, because then getting a random.
I think there's
card.
other ways around it.
Let's start with a Gravecrawler and say go.
And I like the idea of making some cards that are like similar to the conspiracies and hidden agendas, where it's like this card allows you to play 1 card and have to be we have to have some kind of rules for a card that you acquired through anteing, like a card you don't own, or that actually doesn't fit the definition of owned, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That would basically let you cast any spell of any color of mana for something that you got from someone's ante pile or something. Go ahead.
Untap. Draw. Does that change my plan? I'll play a Mishra's Factory.
Are you anteing between matches? Does deck legality become an issue? I
Gingerbread.
don't understand what you're saying, James. You would not play any matches
Attack
other
for
than...
3.
I'll take 3. Oh, God, reset life totals.
Uh-oh.
I'm glad when I'm just playing an aggro deck because that reminds me to reset the life totals pretty quickly.
And then I will drill bit you.
Oh, the hand hate has been devastating, I gotta say.
I'm glad that it is... It didn't function...
I think I'm going to respond.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Well... No, I'm not going to respond.
Okay.
Because I think there's basically 0 chance you take Heart of the Broken Lands, but you might take whatever I get off Heart of the Broken Lands.
I mean, I feel like I just have to take Deluge, right? Brutality is also very good. Masticore is pretty annoying.
Am I taking Milpy's cards in this match before them? So your opponent will have a sideboard too, James, right? So they'll just have to play more cards they weren't playing. So yeah, sideboard cards is what I'm mostly thinking. But yeah, the people in the 0-3 bracket would have much worse decks than they began with, is my idea, which I think is kind of interesting.
I'll take Brutality.
But it's definitely more punishing to the people that lose than it is rewarding to the people that win. Because the people that lose are losing cards they main decked. The people that win are getting cards they might play, they might not play, probably won't play in most situations. I'm going to cycle this Heart of the Broken Lands on your end step and draw an amazing card that you wish you could have taken, but you couldn't.
Correct.
Idiot. And I'll play this Swamp. Now you kind of priced me into playing this Lesser Masticore, though, I think. Play the Masticore. Is Mimic Vat going to be too slow in this matchup? It's really, really good to have a Mimic Vat in play and then play a Grey Merchant. That you probably can't beat. Because baseline, you're going to lose.
Is Andy always this rude? It depends on what
he
had for
rude?
breakfast.
Who was I being rude to? I don't think I'm rude normally. I mean, I get a little spicy on stream because I think it's fun. All right, fine. I'm going to discard a Swamp and be bold.
Hell yeah.
I'll pass the turn.
All right, so what do I do about a Lesser Masticore? Draw a card. Interesting. What do I do
always this rude? I feel so bad now.
about a Lesser Masticore now?
I don't know. Kill it with
I'll play a Swamp.
Subtle Strike. That'd be pretty chill.
I'll go to combat. Attack you.
I called Anthony an idiot playfully, and he knew it.
Hold on. Do I want to attack with the Gingerbread?
Make it unblockable.
Or would I rather do a different thing?
What do you need your mana for? You're not casting spells. Anthony knows I respect him intellectually.
Yeah, let's make it unblockable.
On a very deep level. Yeah, I mean, I'm not blocking, so I'll block the Gravecrawler.
Yeah.
And this will die and come back with a -1/-1 counter. Do you play a 1-mana zombie and then replay the Gravecrawler and make me look like a real idiot?
That's a great question.
Make me look like the idiot? I take one.
You take one.
Go to 16.
And then I'll play Kitesail Freebooter and probably take Deluge from you.
Yeah, I kind of figured you had a plan for that Deluge. The only new card is Swamp. I'm sorry. And also Gary. Did you know about Gary?
I did know about Gary, but...
Only new card is Swamp.
Who's going to let you get to 5 mana?
Good thing I put a bunch of other removal in this deck. So now I can actually have a hope of getting rid of that Kitesail Freebooter. I will untap. I will draw a card. But we're not doing it now. Now we're just playing a Mimic Vat.
Yep.
And then we are passing the turn.
Untaps. Draw. What do I know you have left?
Oh, man, I want to imprint that Mishra's Factory on my Mimic Vat and make a land every turn for 3 mana.
Oh, man. Making land,
Make a land with
making
haste.
land tokens.
Ooh, baby.
Do I know about anything left in your hand? You still have Gary.
You know about Gary.
Do I care about Gary?
Carry? You got to carry about Gary.
Do I care about your Masticore? So many questions.
Got to Masticare.
I guess I can do all this. This is going to be fine.
No, that is far from unbeatable here, I
think.
I think it's really slow in this matchup. Though, in general, a bit of a power outlier in the cube, I think.
Hold on. I can't animate and activate Gingerbrute.
You can. You just want to have another mana left over. So you got something else going on.
I got something else going on. let's just...
I wish Vat was anything but Vat, honestly, in this exact board
animate
state.
or activate the Ginger Brute.
Scorpion Vizier guy, I'd be much
and
happier.
Attack you for, and let's also do it with the colorless mana because I'm not an idiot, and attack you for 2.
So it is unblockable.
It is unblockable.
All right, I take 2. Go to 14.
Mimic Vat is really good. I don't know how deep I want to go on trying to balance this cube. I've already spent way too much work on it. But let's Spectre.
What is a balance cube? You are the worst. This is awful. All right, you have a swamp and you get Gary.
Yeah, I'll take Gary. And say go.
Ugh. Yuck.
But yeah, Mishra's Factory is definitely like both. It doesn't really lean into a lot of the other themes. It's just kind of like very good value. So I could see cutting it.
Hey, check this shit out. Animate Dead Gary.
Oh no!
I couldn't have cast it, but now I get it anyway.
Oh no, I hate that.
With an additional point of devotion.
So you get 2, 3. 3. Wow.
I get 3 and you lose 3. So I go to 17.
I go to 17.
You go to 17.
Wow, we're tied. This is how the game works.
17's all around.
And you have a, what is it now, a 1/4? Is that
It is a 1/4.
1/4's a little annoying.
And guess what happens when it dies? I get many of them.
Uh-huh.
Pass the turn.
Yeah. How do I deal with this?
Are monocolored cubes easier or harder to balance? I think my gut is probably harder only because you have to have so many more cards from a much more limited pool that I think it's just hard to keep a narrow power band if you're doing a full-size cube. Do you agree, Anthony?
It's definitely harder to keep a narrow power band.
Like, you're playing Dark Confidant. How many black cards can hold a candle to Dark Confidant? Not many, but you still want to play Dark Confidant. It's a mono black cube. So it's just going to have a little bit more of a delta than the average cube.
I mean, at the same time, like, it's perfectly balanced because the one color is going to be as good as itself.
Yeah. Oh, black won again.
Weird.
Another 3-0 for black.
So I think balance is, like, not the most
balance
useful.
is definitely too good to put in this cube.
I think balance is not the most useful sort of question to ask. I think more important is talk about like deck diversity and
no
stuff
fixing.
Like
You have no fixing in this cube. If
right,
you just put balance, if you put Ancestral Recall in this cube, would it be correct to play like 5 islands Ancestral Recall?
Yeah, of course. Definitely.
You think so?
For sure.
I'm not convinced.
I'll attack you for 1.
I go to 16.
I'll make a Flesh Carver.
Do you want to kill this Gary somehow? That would be really chill
No,
of
I'm
you.
going to try really hard not to.
It'd be really
go.
cool and chill of you to kill this Gary. I will untap. Balance would be aggro versus other strategies, right? Isn't there? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
I think if
probably what most people are talking about.
If the exact same like combination of cards as winning every draft, then that's probably not what people are considering balanced. Right. But, well, see,
this was probably a really bad idea to play this when you have Mimic Vat in play, but Gary is already such a threat.
Pass the turn, my guy.
All right, untap, draw. That's almost good.
Yeah, James is hard no on Ancestral. I kind of agree. I don't think I'm putting Ancestral
I'm
Recall
not surprised.
on 5
James
islands
is
in
really
any of my
low
decks.
on the colorless lands.
I like just putting
you for 1.
one card of each other color in this cube to tempt people with a
Jace the Mind
Splash.
Sculptor.
People would probably, honestly, our play group is probably more likely to play Jace the Mind Sculptor than most other cards. I go to 15.
Excellent. I'll play an Heirloom Blade that I can't equip yet and say go.
Now I gotta think.
Okay.
I gotta do some thinking.
Take your think.
So you have no mana to activate Flesh Kava.
Correct.
And if I do this, that would actually be very good. But I also kind of just want to shoot that Ginger Brute with my Mastercore and start making Ginger Brutes and eating them for food.
Oh, no, you can do that.
Which seems pretty chill.
If you have another mana. Yeah, I should have killed that Mastercore. But it just feels stupid to kill stuff with Mimic Vat in play.
I also can do this on that. And then I get that. Yeah, I think Mimic Vat's going to take over this game now. I'm going to Deathwind the Kitesail Freebooter.
Oh, no, that's even worse. Wow. All right. Trigger. Will you exile this?
I will exile that.
Trigger.
I will take Toxic Deluge back.
Not trigger. End of duration.
And then I will go to my turn.
Sure.
Untap. Draw.
You want to see my hand?
No. I don't want to see your hand. I'm some sort of sick freak. Go to combat. Attack for 2. You won't block, coward.
You're probably correct. Because also you can just...
No, this particular
All right, I'll
this
take it.
particular thought experiment is about having no fixing in the cube. So you have to put just jam basics in, or even better yet, don't give people basics. They got to figure out some other way to make colored mana. There's probably not any way to do that in the cube, huh?
Got anything else?
I got some other stuff to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Deluge.
Yeah.
And am I gonna pay 4 life to put my Gary under it?
Maybe I should have blocked just because I knew you could Deluge. Magic is hard. I'm not a great Magic player.
If I'm going to kill the... I think I'm just going to pay 2. I'll keep this Gary around. So these 3 will die. I pay 2.
Okay.
Go to 13. And this does not make you a token because it has 0 power when it dies.
Right. Well, it makes a 0 power token.
It does make a 0 power token.
Would you like to...
I'm going to put the Flesh Carver under the...
Yeah, that seems good.
And pass the turn.
Untap.
I'm not sure I'm not supposed to just
Draw.
kill my own Gary there, but Flesh Carver seems good.
Swamp. Ooh. Should I not swamp? I think I do need to swamp.
You just play Animate Nature's Factory, equip, start smashing.
I'm considering it.
It's probably your best line.
Waltz.
Okay.
Let's get these 2 creatures back.
It was Kitesail Freebooter, and what was the other one?
Ginger Brute.
Sure.
And then the question is, what do I discard? Ginger Brute is pretty good with Heirloom Blade.
It really is.
Let's be bold. Let's discard this. Ulcerate. And Freebooter.
Real Priest of the Forgotten Gods.
Okay, stay go.
Untap.
Priest of the Forgotten Gods is about to do work.
Draw. Play a swamp. Make a token of Flesh Carver.
Yeah.
It has haste. Attack for 2.
I'll take 2.
Put you to 13. I'll pay 2 for Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Go to my end step. This dies. I get a 2/2 horror.
I made you one.
I'm going to have to get rid of this Gray Merchant to bring it back, though, because you're going to start bashing me with some unblockable or flying Heirloom Blades. It's going to be a problem. I will pass the turn.
Draw. Ooh.
Oh, wait. Flesh Carver only triggers when it dies?
Oh, really? And it's on... It gets exiled with Mimic Vat?
Yeah. Relevant. Thank you, Judge James.
Man, I wish we could always just have judges.
Disclaimer, James is not actually a judge.
All right. You still have a 1/4, so this Mishra's Factory is not doing anything. Let's equip.
Yeah, I mean...
Let's...
Spike me for 4?
So I'm going to end up playing this Ginger Brute. And then I can activate this Ginger Brute. And attack you for 5.
I go to 8.
We could maybe get there. And then let's keep you from making me sacrifice my creatures. Destroy target black creature.
You kind of just turn this whole thing around.
Maybe.
I
I mean, you could
don't
still
like that.
put it under the Mimic Vat, but...
But it can't sacrifice itself is the problem.
Right.
The Flesh Carver blocks and dies. Well, actually can't block because nothing you could play is ever going to make me block.
Mm-hmm.
Do I put this under the Mimic Vat? What an interesting question. I think I need to because I think I have to get this Grey Merchant under the Vat. Otherwise, I'm going to be screwed. I still need to draw another creature to do so.
Mm-hmm.
But Flesh Carver's not doing anything for me. So, Priest of the Forgotten Gods, under the Vat you go.
Okay. I'll take that Flesh Carver back.
That's your Flesh Carver. Are you all finished?
I'm all finished.
All right, I will untap. I will draw. Pass a turn.
Untap. Draw.
The thing about being a judge is it would be cool if it was just knowing all the rules of Magic, but what it actually is like negotiating arguments where someone's like,
Yeah.
this guy knocked off the top card of his deck and it fell on the ground and it was there for 4 turns of this game. Now what do we do? And that sounds awful.
How do I make this card do something for me? I just can't.
Fold it up into a little paper airplane and throw it right in my eye. I'm thinking about my play.
Which means I also can't then utilize my Mishra's Factory. Yeah, I mean... Do I have any more food creatures in my graveyard? I mean, in my deck. Also, I know that's not how it works. It's not a creature type. I'll activate the Ginger Brute, and let's attack you for 5. Uh-oh.
I'll Grasp of Darkness, the freebooter.
Oof. That's tough.
You're going to get to draw a card, probably.
Yep. Freebooter will die. Trigger. I will get the next human or pirate.
Oh, Carver could do that. That's smart. I didn't see that line. Flesh Carver could have sacked itself with its sacrifice ability.
Oh, that's cool.
And I also could have used it to sacrifice Gary. So I made
Human.
it. I should have read and thought more about Flesh Carver.
A blood-soaked champion. Would have been great if I could get a zombie.
What's up, Scott Mertz? Thank you, Zoe.
Will you take 1?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Go to 7.
Then I will play the blood-soaked champion
Uh-huh.
and equip. I actually might want to equip to a thing that if this happens to die. Yeah, let's equip there. And let's do it with this colorless mana. And say go.
Seriously considered Grasp of Darkness in my own Gray Merchant, but that can't be right. And yet, here we are. I'ma lose this game because I didn't play very good. Well, I mean, it's not blocking.
Sure can't.
Well, but you'll be able to attack with both that and the factory next turn if I don't leave up 2 blockers.
True.
Pass the turn.
All right, I'll untap. I'll draw a card.
We're happy to be streaming, though I get so embarrassed by punting on stream.
Yeah.
It's so hard to play Magic and also manage the stream and also read the chat. And also just as hard to play Magic, just in general. That's just difficult for a small-brained person like myself.
I'll equip the Heirloom Blade to
You sure you want to do that?
the cookie. Yep.
Are you 100% sure?
Yes.
Okay.
And attack. Unblockable for 4.
Yep. Take 4, go to 3.
Happy Friday. And
I think I had enough mana. I think I had 5 mana when I had the Flesh Carver.
Say go.
To make a copy and then sacrifice it. Do I not lose? Go.
Wow. Untap. Draw. Huh.
That still wins this easily. I mean,
I'll
I'm
play
dead on board. I
Castle
don't know
Loch-Twain.
what.
And make this guy unblockable and attack you for
I'll just figure it.
some. Damn. Can't do much about that. I guess I should have attacked with more things. All right, well, we'll get the next golem, which I think is going to be nothing.
I don't think you want to attack with more stuff.
Sorry, this is a downside to this card. I'm fairly sure.
I think
that-
it's fine.
Oh, I do have a golem.
There you go. And an unblockable one, too.
An
This is
unblockable
awful.
golem. This is excellent. So this is not shuffling my deck. I'm actually just shuffling these cards. I was expecting I was going to shuffle the whole
So
deck.
annoying.
Oh, you love to see it. And guess what? Oh, this is perfect. Hell yeah. This goes in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and play my zombie
Mm-hmm. And play your other zombie.
and
Yeah.
play my other zombie.
Yeah.
And then let's go ahead and equip this to this everything
Yeah.
and say go.
Yeah, sure. Having fun over there?
Yeah.
Ugh! I think I lose. I lose.
You did have a line, though, I think.
From there?
Can you not, during my end step, make a Priest of the Forgotten Gods, and then you keep it until your next turn, and then you can make a second Priest of the Forgotten Gods?
Yeah.
Sack it to do this?
Yeah. That's true. I hate this card. I hate this card and I hate playing Magic.
Wow, thanks, Changeling Outcast. That was very
Oy.
cool. Did not expect that.
Yeah, I always forget about that dumb thing. That's stupid. Yeah, I just don't play with Mimic that ever. I haven't played this since I cut it from my cube like 4 years ago. But that would have been good. I definitely would have done it. Or at least given me something to do. Instead of just sit there and draw lands and removal. Removal was good. Bought me time, but I just needed one more creature. Or I needed to see the Fledge Coffer line, or I needed to see the double Mimic that line. I needed to see anything, really, instead of just sitting there casting the spells I drew.
So the Flesh Carver, you basically pay 5 to make a 2/2?
Well, but I could also sacrifice the Gary to put
right, yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
Which would have been, I think... I mean, honestly, just Gary under there would not have been enough either, because...
Getting 2 life a turn...
You were attacking me for more than 2 every turn.
That's true.
It would have slowed you down enough that I probably could have drawn a couple more creatures and then started draining you for more, because you weren't removing my stuff, you were just flying and making it unblockable and stuff.
Yeah. All right, well, this deck felt a little bit better. It felt like I kind of expected.
You said you 2-1. Why didn't that feel good?
Mostly because my opponents got horribly mana screwed.
Oh, well, that
can
feel good too.
Sad, but...
should we
I also
draft?
killed myself with my own
I'll decide.
Dark Confidant.
Do you want me to decyborg this for you?
We're probably not going to use them more than this stream.
Cool. I will not do that then. Yeah, I made a bunch of mistakes. That is a shame. Sorry I'm not better at Magic, everybody watching. Silly cards that do dumb little tricks.
That was exciting. Getting the Changeling that lets me cast my other zombie and is also unblockable. I totally was not thinking about that.
All right, sorry for being a bad Magic player, YouTube. I'm going to stop the stream, and then we're going to get a draft going of my cube. Stop record. I'm not going to stop the stream. I'm going to